Right, everybody, welcome back to the latest Manchester United news. Now, in this video, we'll be talking about Ollie Watkins to Manchester United, and also some other interesting news. We'll be talking about the striker situation on Rashford as well. But Ollie Watkins is on Manchester United's list of potential centre-forward recruits in the event that Rasmus Højlund leaves the club. There's been contact between both clubs via intermediaries to explore the prospect of a deal, as United weigh up several striker options. At this stage, a check called on Ollie Watkins is the extent of only dialogue between United and Villa. Any movement is only expected as the window progresses. So listen, on Ollie Watkins, obviously we were looking to sign him before we actually did sign Rasmus Højlund. Relatively experienced striker, or very experienced actually in terms of Premier League and English football, playing with Brentford as well. He scored 16 Prem goals last season, which again I believe is top 7. A very, very interesting forward. Again, the only concern would be his age. But again, listen, we've also had some updates on the strike situation in the same article. Ruben Amorim would like a reunion with Gyökeres, but his priority appears to be Arsenal. Victor Osimhen's wages are viewed as too high for United, and Frankfurt's £100 million price tag on Hugo Ekitike is beyond United's current means. And Kunku has come up in conversations with Chelsea and United, who are also in touch on Alejandro Garnacho. So, listen, the striker situation is heating up. To be fair, I don't mind Ollie Watkins. I think experienced, which again something that's huge. That's sort of the main thing for me. Also, he can score goals. He is 30 years of age or approaching that age. He was linked to Arsenal heavily last season, but they didn't end up signing him, which is, listen, it's weird. Why? Because he is a very, very good goal scorer. Again, in terms of price, anything above 30 to 40 million. That you can't get from, I'd walk away. I mean, they're in a very poor PSR position. I believe they're doing something with the women's club to help their men's financial state, which just shows the current place football's at. In terms of Ollie Watkins, as I said, he did have an up and down season at Villa. Obviously, when Rashford came in, he wasn't starting as much. I think that there has always been a player there in Watkins. He's physical, dominant, can score goals, and I think for what Manchester United need, he definitely is an alternative to Gyökeres and Osimhen. As I said, the wages and the price for them would be out of Manchester United reach at this current moment, as we haven't sold any players. But Ollie Watkins is definitely an interesting target and certainly a player to look out for. And I think someone that Manchester United should be looking to sign. Again, as you know, my choices, Osimhen and Gyökeres, they're my top 2. And then you have like the Watkins, he'd probably be 3rd, to be fair. You've probably got Sesko in there as well. There are strikers out there. As I said, United have had contact with Ollie Watkins. And yeah, listen, Aston Villa need to sell. Could he be one of those players that do leave due to their financial perspective and their financial position? I mean, we'll have to wait and see. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is Marcus Rashford. Again, Aston Villa. Aston Villa confirmed they're not activating the 40 million buy option for Rashford. Rashford returned to United and 40 million price remains available for any club interested in Marcus Rashford this summer. So, next week when we go to pre-season, when we go into pre-season training, Rashford will be there. That was kind of expected. United looking for a new club for him. In terms of like Marcus Rashford, we know United looking for an exit. We know he wants an exit. Barca do seem interested. But again, they haven't acted on any deal, so we'll have to wait and see what does develop with the Rashford situation. But as we know, Aston Villa are not going to activate the buy option, and he will be returning to Manchester United in the next few days. Now, the last 3 things I want to talk about on Brian and Bremo, there's no here we go, but United are working on the deal. Manchester United keep advancing, which again is just a minor update. We know when it's just all about getting the final stages done, and then we can get here we go. The next thing I want to talk about, if Manchester United can boost their budget with incoming transfer fees, there might be a possibility of moving in for a midfielder like Edison or Adam Wharton. Now, they are 2 very different midfielders. Adam Wharton, 20 years old, playmaker sort of vibe, can control and dictate from deep. With Edison, he's someone who likes to break up play more. Obviously, I think Edison's now 26, has been heavily linked to Saudi, and obviously Adam Wharton's 20 years old. For me, perfect midfield option would either be Carlos Baleba from Brighton or Adam Wharton from Crystal Palace. They are the 2 for me who just in that number 6 position next to a Manu, a Bruno, just as a deep line playmaker, be fantastic. Can break up play, defend well, attack well. They're quality players, and they'd be the few that I'd go for. In terms of, again, it just depends on the budget for Manchester United. We've heard a couple of days ago that Casemiro could be staying at Manchester United, so again, that does block kind of a player to come through or a player to come in. In terms of midfielders who we're going to sell, we know Eriksen's gone. If we do get money for Sancho, Anthony, Rashford, Garnacho, Højlund, if he goes, you can potentially bring in money. But again, if you look at the midfield at United at this current moment, we have Bruno, Casemiro, Ugarte, Mount. That's really about it. So we are probably in deep need of a play-making midfield, or not even a deep line midfielder who can control and conduct the play. I think there too, there's options out there. As I said, Belieber, we've been linked to Paulinho as well. There are definitely options out there for the midfield. In terms of what United are going to do, we've got Cunha over the line. I mean, that was sealed on the 1st of June. We've got nothing done since then, which is pretty poor, to be fair. We need to get Mbeumo done, maybe get a striker, then look at a midfielder, maybe a keeper as well. I mean, that's the sort of trajectory that I would go in, but I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for watching.